Hi everyone, and today I'm going to be making a really fun project just to have a little fun with second confinement coming around. I think everybody's feeling a little dejected again, so I'll show you what I'm going to do in a minute, but I am going to be using the epoxy for this. It's a 2-to-1 resin, and they have also sent me some lovely colours, so they have all of these types of products to colour your and tint your resins with. These are pigment pastes and these are mica powders, and if you've watched any of my other channels you know all about mica powders, but this is the selection that they've given me, and of course I'm going to try and do something really fun with it. And this resin is extremely low viscosity. It's really watery, almost like a water effect, so that's why I'm going to be using this particular resin for this particular project. And what I am going to do is make one of these gorgeous storage boxes. So I got this from AliExpress, a particular shop over there. I just went on a little haul and I got lots of stuff, and it's the kind of the same molds that you would get if you buy off Amazon, except they're much cheaper. So I've made this really cute storage box in which I personally am keeping all of my beads in. You know, when I make my sort of druzy napkin ring holders, I like those. And it's really clever. It comes like this with this little stick, a lid, and you kind of thread this thing through this plastic stick, and it makes a really clever storage box. Anyway, I thought we'd have a little fun today. So because this mold is, as you can see, it's quite detailed, and if I used a thicker resin I would be worried that it wouldn't kind of flow down to the bottom, and it would leave me with sort of holes and gaps and air pockets. So that's why I decided to use this particular resin. As I said, it's really low viscosity, and that means that it's very watery and runny rather than thick. And just for a little fun, I thought that I would use some dried pressed flowers, and these are already dried and pressed, and I bought them from that same AliExpress shop. As I said, I went a little crazy, but when I saw them on their site and for the price that I saw them, I thought, well, go on, I'll add that to the basket too and see what they do. And I'm really pleased with how they've turned out under resin. So it makes your life a little easier than pressing them yourselves. These are already pre-pressed, and I'm assuming that they are going to last and not going to wilt or mold under the resin, as sometimes fresh pressed flowers do. So as you can see, I've used a selection of purples for these, and I've used this purple with some white, and I also used these sheets of gold leaf, and they're not real gold leaf, they're fake gold leaf, but again, for the price I thought let's see what they do, and I was really quite pleased with them. And you can see there's a sheet there, and there's some mixed in resin, and it kind of looks like glitter, and I really love it. So again, the glitter there that I've used at the bottom, everything is from that same website. And you know, honestly, sometimes when you're ordering these molds, they're all kind of the same, they're all made out of the same quality. So, you know, it can be really expensive to buy these and use them. So I saw them on this site with, I think you saw the 3-tiered mold that I'd done. I bought that there too. And I've got a couple of coaster molds that I bought from there. And look, so far they're holding up. So the only problem was that it took about 3 weeks to get to me, but then sometimes when I order stuff from the US or Australia, it takes that long anyway. So I thought, I'm not in a hurry, we'll see when it gets here, and let's see the quality. And honestly, the quality is exactly as you would get from buying it from Amazon. It's almost the same stuff. I guess there's a couple of factories that make them over there, and then they just, you know, send them around the world to different Amazons, and it's basically the same stuff. So, and it's actually a lot of fun, because really, I mean, this is all about having fun. So these are the actual flowers. This is how they come. They come in sheet form, and I really think they're quite clever. And I got this too, and I might be doing a tray with that. I think that'd be lovely as a tray. And they also came, I also got these. I don't know if you can see them, but in there are these really tiny dried flowers, and they're individual. I didn't expect them to be that small, Well, that's quite cute. So I think these will look great in coasters, you know, just as a centerpiece, and then with the actual coloured resin around. I think it will look absolutely lovely. So that's an idea for another tutorial. And then these are the gold sheets I'm talking about. It came in this really handy pack. There's loads of them there for the price that it costs, honestly. And then you can see that they come like this. And these are not real gold, so you're saving yourself a bit of money, but honestly they look like they are. And they come in these handy little individual sachets. You've got to be quite careful because they do act like real gold sheets. Can you see? Look, I've just touched it and it's come apart. So I'm going to delicately put that back for another use. And we can then get on with the tutorial. I'm going to prepare my cups of colours and gold leaf, and I'm going to simply put this into the bottom of a cup and try not to touch it with my fingers. I will see how 2 of them go, and then if I feel like it needs more, I'll add some more. So that's my resin mixed up, and I'm using this handy little silicone spatula, and I've listed everything down below if you are interested. So this is great for scraping down. I'm going to let that sit for a couple of minutes because there's a couple of bubbles inside there. And then I'm going to pour 1 layer in here and then delicately place my flowers inside. Let's add some of this gold and then twirl the gold around in the resin, and that's lovely and thick. That's really nice, that gold actually. So I don't need it to be thicker than that because I do want it to be quite stable in there. I don't want it running around, floating onto other areas. Let's get going with this. Let's put a thin layer, just a thin layer at the bottom of here. So I'm actually might be doing a top coat of this, or a second layer rather than a top coat. So let's get this turned around in there, all the corners, all the way around in the edges. And lately what I've been doing with these coasters is taking one of these, the spatula is very soft against the silicone, and I'm just going to scrape on the edge, and that will get rid of any air bubbles there. Sometimes when you unmold them you notice that there are a few air bubbles on the edges. Then I'm going to go in very lightly on a very low flame to take away some of those extra bubbles. Wait a second, and go back in, wait another second, and go back in until I can see that there are no more bubbles. You could also use a heat gun on low, but do be careful with these knolls. Then I'm going to put on this side there this lovely gold. So let's put a bit there, some along the edge there, and there. That's my design done. And then I'm going to start placing the flowers. I'm going to have to be delicate about this, so I am taking a pair of tweezers. I'm going to get my flowers, and I am going to do my best to place them. And I know that this side is going to be the underside, so I need to turn them around. So for example, that's that side, so I will turn it around and place it in. And make sure it goes right inside of the mould and not hang out on the underside. Let's take one of these, and I'm going to delicately do these, and then I'll be back. I'm thinking if I should have a leaf in there. Let's go for the whole floral theme. and do a pretty leaf just peeking out behind there. Let's hope for the best, because obviously we can't really tell what that's going to look like. Then I am going to delicately put that back in the envelope it came with, and you want to do that to protect them, because these are literally so thin. They are wafer thin. So that goes back in there, and that's for another time. So I really just want it to come up to the top there. I don't want it to cover that. That's going to have another design. So let's just open that a bit and pour the resin down, and it should start to flow all the way around. A bit in there, a bit in there. Then I'm going to use this spatula and just scrape off what I don't need there, put it down the side, or scrape it back in there. And then let's fill this up to the top by getting rid of all of the resin in this cup. So to continue with this one, since I have some of this gold left, I've decided to do this. So I am going to put the rest of the resin, because I've got some left, and I'll have to use the rest of that resin for something else. And there's always something going on in my studio, so that's never going to go to waste. So very low, and just go around and blow any more that are on the surface, because that will be, technically that will be transparent. So I've got this box of glitters from the same AliExpress shop, and I am going to choose a funky colour, and there are quite a few to choose from. So, which one am I going to go for? But I thought, since I'm in the gold theme, I may as well try this funky gold. I mean, it's completely crazy, but you know what? With everything going on at the moment, let's get a bit crazy, right? Like, creatively crazy. So I've mixed myself up another batch of resin, and this has now had about 2 hours to dry, so I'm just going to go straight over the top. Mix my glitter in. And then let this dry completely overnight again. And let's just unmold this one, and all the way around, and then flip it back. Flip all sides back, grab, and then it just pulls out. And then this bit here, and gently pull it, there, and then it comes out. Oh, that's a fun effect. That's really nice, I like that. It's all flat at the bottom, totally glittery on the bottom. I like that. And these little bits I will have to just sand off, because those are a little bit of overhanging. And for this, just turn it inside out and you're ready to go again. So here it is, and I'm going to unmold it and pull back very carefully. This has had a whole night's cure, so just one night. And here we go. Peel back. And then gently pull this middle bit out, including that bit there. Let's just wiggle that out. It's coming out. There. Oh, and that's what that bottom bit has done. And the base, where I put that foil, has done this. It's quite cute. It's a cute effect. So I've got two quite similar to each other, and that is the side. So it's just the purple, just a plain base of purple, and I think it looks cool. And this one I've just put a little bit underneath. It's the same method, but I've just put a little bit of this in a cup. So I've let this cure overnight, and what I decided to do was put a layer, a very thin layer of some white mica powder just on the back of those flowers to make them stand out a bit. So that's what I've done. I've mixed up some white mica, and I am placing just a very thin layer on the top, and I will leave this to dry overnight, and then I will unmold. So as you can see, I made just a slight mistake. I actually did this reversed. So next time, just put the layer of white first, then a thin layer of clear, and then place all your flowers down and the glitter as I did in the tutorial, and then put another clear layer of resin on the top, and that way it will be flat and you won't get the upside downness. And the reason you need it to be the right way up is because it comes with this little hole here, and that hole is to stick one of these tubes in, and this holds it all together. So you slip it through each one of those holes there, and then this opens and closes like that. And you can see I've used it for my beads for when I do my druzy napkins, and it slides open. Get to your next one, and I just think it's really fun, useful, and it really does look cute. And so these flowers are great because you can actually use them for coasters, and I will be doing a couple of coasters with them, and even a tray, so look out for that in the future. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope everyone's keeping safe. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye.